Hey, what's up? So, I'm doing this video for really two reasons. One, I've been obsessed lately with, well, I guess I always have been, but something I don't really talk on this channel a whole lot is folklore. I really love folklore, either that would be European or American folklore. I just love it. I also love the books of Wizard of Oz and Alice in Wonderland. The books. I'm not much into the movies, but I like the books. Thing about the movies, and I think why I like the books better than the movies is just the movies have a clear beginning, middle, and end. As for the books, they're just cool and random. Not to say I hate those movies. I like the books better. I'm a book geek. But I wanted to talk about something that happened to me in the past. What Now, keep in mind, take everything I say with a grain of salt, because I was very young. Like, really young. But I remember it. I don't know. I know I didn't dream it, but it could have just been my imagination. Not only I was a child, but I have autism. So it's a strong possibility I made up the whole thing in my head. But I'm not like crazy or anything, okay? And I've been down these woods. I live next to the woods, always have. And it's a possibility I could have made all this up. But what's interesting, I actually had somebody here with me at the time. Okay, let me tell you the story. At the time we were having a barbecue, I was probably 8 or 9 years old. And my mom was helping my grandma with, either my grandma or grandpa with the barbecue. Everybody was there. My uncle came, my aunt came. And at the time, my uncle's girlfriend's son at the time came over. And we were friends only for the day. We took a good liking for each other, but we were only friends for the day. I think my uncle actually broke up with her not so long after that. He has like a ton of girlfriends. But anyways, enough about that. But he wanted my uncle girlfriend's friend at the time. Now I don't remember his name or anything, but he wanted to go see the woods by her house. Now next to our house, we have like these woods. I don't know if you can necessarily call it a forest. It's just a woods. You know what I mean? It has trees and grass and bushes, and it's woods basically, and it has swamps and all that stuff. But I was like, okay. And I asked my grandma if we can go down these woods, and she jokingly said, yeah, for a little inches, for a little bit. But in my head, I thought she meant being a kid. I thought she meant. Sorry, that was my grandma. But I thought she meant, yeah, you can go into those woods. But, I was just being a kid. And as autism, I don't really get sarcastic humor too much, so I just figured, yeah, she meant that, just as long as I come back at supper time. So we did. We went to these woods. And I've been down these woods before then. My grandpa took me down these woods. Totally normal. But what I remember, me and him, we saw two trees. Weird looking trees. And I didn't know where these trees come from. I assume we just were in an area I'd never been before. So we walked between these trees, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, straight up Alice in Wonderland style, the sky was freaking purple. We heard this weird music, like trance music, and the only thing I can explain is like realistic but cartoony like birds flying. And everything was very colorful. The trees were colorful. And we were walking like this, like, what seemed like an hour, man. What seemed like an hour. And we were just walking through these. And all of a sudden, we came across these weird-looking trees again. And we heard our names. So we walked across these trees. And all of a sudden, my aunt and her, at the time, boyfriend, who never got married, found us. And they were like, "Where were you?" And I was like, "Well, Grandma said we can walk in the woods." And she said, "Yeah, only like 10 inches, like 1 inches." And that's not what we thought she said. So they took us back, and that was that. And that is like the weirdest story I have from my childhood. And I don't know, he was here. It's possible we both imagined the whole thing, but that's the only thing we could really talk about. And it was. My question to you is, have you ever saw someone when you were younger what you can't really explain? And you don't really know if it's fully real or you imagine it or not? Let me know. Okay, have a good day.